All right, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is going to just be a quick video. Well, I always say that and then it ends up being longer. I did something here just a few months ago. I put together a trailer for a game that we played in our youth group called The Plague. And so the unique thing about this trailer though is I didn't shoot any of the footage. I didn't come up with the script. I didn't come up with the voiceover. I did all of that via AI and B-roll. I want to show you how I put this together, how it came out, and hopefully it can be helpful to you.
I don't know who started calling it the plague. Maybe it was the scientists. Maybe some desperate soul on the radio before all the stations went silent. Either way, it stuck. It wasn't just a virus. It was a punishment, a reckoning. At first, it was fever, chills, the usual symptoms. Then came the mutations. The sickness didn't just kill you, it changed you, twisted your body into whatever nightmare had taken root inside your cells. Some just stopped being human altogether. No one knew how to stop it. Cities burned, governments fell, and the ones who survived, we became ghosts in our own world. Hiding in the ruins, praying that whatever walked the streets didn't hear us breathe. I've seen what happens when you fight back, and what happens when you don't. There is no cure. There is no survival. And even that is running out.
Now that you've had a chance to actually watch the trailer, let's take a look at how I put it together. So the first part I want to talk about is the B-roll. The B-roll is basically all of the footage that I have. It's just stock footage that I got off of my subscription program called Artlist. Actually, that's where I also did my voiceover generation and generator? Use the voiceover generator, yeah. From Artlist as well. So there's a lot of programs out there now that you can use. This is just one that I subscribe to for all of my other videos that I produce. So I looked for shots that had people kind of distressed, possibly in the medical realm. Also kind of these first shots, it looks like something's growing under a microscope, which the plague was kind of like, you know, the apocalyptic plague taking over humanity and that whole thing. So that I think worked really well. Here's another kind of maybe just looking at some of the strips of things. Here's a doctor maybe looking at the effects of the plague in the body. And then we move on. Now we have like headaches, distress, you know, people kind of anxious. More shots of things growing under microscopes. That's kind of what I saw in this shot here. Then it moves on to kind of being a little can't sleep, a little psycho-esque here. And then after kind of some montage shots of those, I moved on to like the army getting involved because that's where it always goes, right? And then we have this apocalyptic scene. And all of these, then ending kind of with a, I don't know, I thought this was maybe like a hospital hall or something like that, concluding with just kind of like, you know, humanity is ceased to exist or very few are left. So now I want to move into what I actually did to put all of this together. I want to show you two shots that I'm pretty proud of. I think that I doctored them up pretty well. The first one is this shot of this army guy running. Okay, pretty exciting, pretty crazy. So let me just undo a few of the things that I did. Okay, undo that. And then I'll come into here and undo effects. All right. So this is the original clip. Pretty uneventful, straightforward. It has a look that I want, but even at that, I kind of wanted to change that around. So what I did is I went in and I added some extra effects to it. So the first thing that I did is I aged the film. So that gives this grainy look. You can see all the grain in there. So if you're playing it back. Okay, I also added a handheld effect. So this is without, this is with. Okay, so all of a sudden that kind of immerses you a little more into the shot. The handhelds kind of moving the shot around a little bit. And then the last thing that I did is I added this earthquake as an adjustment layer on top. Probably didn't have to add it as adjustment, but I kind of wanted, as he hit the ground, so as he's jumping, as he hits that ground, I kind of wanted that impact feel. So let me turn this on here. And see, now you can kind of, as he hit there, you have a bit of the blur and a bit more of that impact right there. So that was one shot that I changed significantly. So this is the other shot that I worked on, not a lot, but I just kind of added the same little stuff to it that I did the other shot. I had a whole other plan for this, but it didn't work out that way. So this one's more probably, it almost looks like a video game scape, so it's kind of futuristic in this way. And so there's some stuff blowing up, things like that. So what I did is I did the same thing. I went in and I aged it. So now you're getting even a little more of that grainy look again. Oh, and what I did on this one that I did not do on the other one, there is an adjustment down here that has focus variances. And so I turned that up to 41. And as you can see, as this plays through, you get these like blurps of unfocusedness, which kind of just, I think, really, really, really made it cool. So you get this like, you can't really focus. So as if, maybe someone was filming this and their lens wasn't working. Then the second one is I did also the handheld. So even though it was super smooth, I was like, well, if someone's really filming this, it wouldn't be that smooth. And so you can see it starts moving. You have some explosions, those type of things. So I thought that turned out really, really well. I was really happy with how I affected some of the shots. There was a few other shots that I did some stuff too, but those were the two primary examples of how you can kind of beef up some stock footage to make your film come to life. So there's two more things that I want to discuss, and one of them is your sound design. So obviously you need just good music that creates the atmosphere of what your video is all about. So I wanted something kind of with those, those whiny strings a bit. And so,
I don't know who started calling it the plague. Maybe it was the scientists.
As it continues on, you hear some of that whine.
It wasn't just a virus. It was a
punishment. See those little violins. Okay. So it creates this real intense environment, which I thought was really cool. If you look here on my timeline, you'll see all of these other sounds. These are all, the one is the dialogue, okay? And I'll get to that here in a second. These boxes underneath the blue, all of these are all sound effects. And it's amazing what sound effects can do. So for instance, I have a bit of this, this looks like film. Okay, and so I added a movie projector in this kind of film sound to it. If you take a listen to this.
Either way, it stuck.
So you feel that, you hear that. We have the button push.
It wasn't just a virus.
Okay, all of that is extra sounds put in. Probably the part that I had the most fun doing, and let's just fast forward to that. Is this, again, scene where this army guy jumps into the foxhole. So you can see down here, I probably have at least 8 different sound effects stacked on each other. Let me do something real quick. I'm just gonna highlight all of these and I'm gonna mute them. Okay, let's take a listen to this without these sound effects and just listen to what it sounds like.
No one knew how to stop it. Cities burned, governments fell, and the ones who survived, we became ghosts in our own world.
So a lot's happening in the actual footage, but you're not hearing any sound. And you could do that. Like, you could produce the whole film that way. But let me show you what happens when you put a little sound effect or sound design into your video.
No one knew how to stop it. Cities burned, governments fell, and the ones who survived, we became ghosts in our own world.
Isn't that so much better? I mean, I think it just like brings the whole film to life. And it was fun because even those shots, and you probably can't hear it on the video, maybe you can, I don't know, but I actually pan left, right. So, you know, there's shots over here, there's shots over here. I did some quiet, some loud to kind of show that there was fire, you know, closer to the individual stuff that was in the background, maybe distant firing. So all of that was just, it just brings your film, whatever project you're working on, to life. Sound design, so important. But let's get to probably my favorite part of the whole thing, that you can use now AI generated voiceovers. And if you haven't played around with it, it is phenomenal. It's really, really cool. You can choose from, you know, at least through Artlist, at least 20 different kinds of voices with pacing, whatever pacing you want, as well as do you want them to read it sad or glad or depressed or angry. All of the emotions, not all, but there's a lot of emotions that you can run this AI through, and it can match the tone or the temperament of your video so well. And it's phenomenal. What's even cooler about this whole thing is that I used ChatGPT in order to create the script. So I just told it, hey, we're playing a game, plague, you know, apocalyptic, end of the world scenario, you know, and just kind of give it some prompts like that. And it basically verbatim put together this script for me. That would have taken me probably, I don't know, a good hour and a half to write something like that and to just be creative and think about that. It did it just like that. So I already had my main source of information for the video, dumped it into the voice generator. So then I had a cool narrator for the video, something that really then I could build around. Then I could get the music, the B-roll, add some nice titles to it, obviously the sound design and sound effects, and voila. Finished product, I think, turned out pretty cool. You can decide for yourself. Thanks for watching this one. Hopefully it was helpful to create your own little trailer or mini video or full-length film with AI and just a little ingenuity. All right, see you guys on the next one. Take care.